Ukraine is the most corrupt country in Europe. You've probably heard this claim, but is it actually true? Or is it outdated, exaggerated, or politically motivated? Today, we're breaking down the facts, data, and context behind corruption in Ukraine and how it compares to the rest of Europe. Corruption isn't just bribery. It includes abuse of power, embezzlement, political favoritism, and lack of transparency. One of the most widely used measures is the Corruption Perceptions Index, published by Transparency International. It ranks countries based on perceived public sector corruption, using expert and business surveys. As of recent rankings, Ukraine is not the most corrupt country in Europe. In fact, it typically ranks in the lower tier, but still above countries like Russia and sometimes comparable to nations in the Balkans. Countries such as Denmark, Finland, and Norway consistently rank as the least corrupt. So while Ukraine has serious corruption challenges, calling it the most corrupt in Europe is simply inaccurate. To understand corruption in Ukraine, you have to go back to the collapse of the Soviet Union. In the 1990s, Ukraine transitioned rapidly to a market economy. Weak institutions allowed oligarchs to gain enormous power. These wealthy elites influenced politics, media, and major industries. Corruption became systemic, not just isolated incidents. After the Euromaidan protests, Ukraine began serious anti-corruption reforms. These include creating new anti-corruption agencies, increasing transparency in government procurement, digitizing services to reduce bribery. One key institution is the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine. There's also the High Anti-Corruption Court of Ukraine, designed to prosecute high-level corruption cases. These are major steps, but progress has been uneven. The Russian invasion of Ukraine changed everything. On one hand, war increases risks of corruption, huge flows of money, emergency decisions, and reduced oversight. On the other hand, Ukraine's leadership has taken visible action, including firing officials over corruption scandals, even during wartime. This level of accountability is rare in many countries facing conflict. Europe is not corruption-free. Countries like Hungary and Bulgaria have faced serious corruption concerns. In fact, some EU members score similarly or only slightly better than Ukraine in certain metrics. So the idea that Ukraine is uniquely corrupt doesn't hold up when you look at the data. So why does the label stick? Three main reasons: historical reputation from the 1990s and early 2000s, political narratives, especially from adversaries like Russia media, amplification of corruption scandals. Perception often lags behind reality. Ukraine does have a corruption problem, no question, but it is not the most corrupt country in Europe. In fact, it's a country actively trying to fix the problem under extremely difficult circumstances. The real story isn't just corruption, it's reform, resistance, and change. If you want more fact-based breakdowns like this, subscribe for more fact-based analysis.